Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with another Explore the Card episode. You're watching this on the Luca Nation Network, and I appreciate your time and attention and interest in the Michael Jordan card market from the 90s. Today's insert that we are featuring in episode number 47, yes, episode number 47, there's 47 of these in existence, is the 1997 Skybox Z-Force Rave Reviews, which you see on your screen on this thumbnail. It's card number 6 from that set. It's an interesting card. The rumor has it that this card was supposed to be die cut, but ended up being rectangular cut. And so you can see on these black margins on each side, those were supposed to be die cut, but they ended up not being, and so it just looks like almost like a black void in that area. But the car is rectangular cut, it is not die cut, despite the way that it probably looks on your screen. As always, we are going to start by looking at the set that this card comes from, 1997 Skybox Z-Force, 210 cards in no particular order whatsoever. The rookie cards are randomly inserted from card number 111, Tim Duncan, to card number 184 within the Z-Force set. Tim Duncan and T-Mac are the big dogs that you're looking for, although at the time, all the white kids liked Keith Van Horn. I even had a Keith Van Horn jersey. We were hoping that he might be the next Bird, and it didn't turn out that way. But Keith Van Horn was a pretty good player in the NBA during the 90s and during his time. So Jordan's card number 23 in the set. We've looked at it before on a prior video when I think we did Quicksilver, but that's what the Jordan card looks like right there. In a PSA 10 slab, that's a $130 card. It's a pop 183. Jordan is also card number 190 in the base set, and that card in a PSA 10 is pop 120. It's a $120 card, and it's a pop 199. The most notable insert sets in 1997 Z-Force, as shown on your screen. Again, I'm always looking at Trading Card Database. This is the place that I go to when I want to learn more about sets, inserts, parallels, different stuff like that from the 90s. This is a library of information, and you can glean anything and everything you ever wanted to know to educate yourself as much as humanly possible in the 90s market. But we're looking at Trading Card Database. I've got the inserts pulled up. I just click inserts over here on the left, and it pulls up 15 insert sets right here. The big ones are Big Men on Court, Jordan's in there. Boss and Super Boss, Jordan's in there. Quick Strike featuring Jordan, which I just did in an Explore the Card episode, maybe 2 episodes ago, if I recall. Rave Reviews, which we're going to talk about today. And then Slam Cam's another one featuring MJ. The parallel sets are the Rave, numbered to 399, and the Super Rave, which are numbered to only 50. Big cards there. There are 12 Rave Review inserts. I'm going to click it here and pull it up so you can see who's in there, starting with the great Sharif Abdul-Rahim, KG, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Allen Iverson, the great MJ, card number 6, which we're going to look at today in great detail, Sean Kemp, the Rain Man, Stephon Marbury, who went on to do illustrious things and build one of the greatest Asian basketball resumes of all time. Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq Diesel, Hakeem the Dream, Olajuwon, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. Those are your 12. 8 of the 12 that I just mentioned are Hall of Famers, which gives this insert set a 66.6% Hall of Fame rate. Not bad. These cards were inserted 1 in every 288 Series 1 packs. I don't know the answer to this question, so I'm going to ask the audience for help, the people viewing. Let me know, is that only hobby packs, or were they also in retail packs? Because I think there's a Series 1 retail and a Series 1 hobby. I couldn't tell if the cards were inserted in retail and hobby packs or only hobby. I think it's both, but I'm not sure. And so anytime I'm not certain of something, I try not to guess. It's something I've learned from being a lawyer and sticking in my lane and doing only real estate law. When people ask me tax questions, I'm like, I have no idea. Here's a name and a number. Go call them. If they ask me a criminal law question, I say, I have no idea. Here's a name and a number. And so the same thing can be said for me in the hobby. If I don't know the answer to something, or I'm not an expert, or at least relatively well versed in a particular topic, I'm going to pass you on to somebody else. So I'm asking you guys for help. Let me know, do these Rave Reviews come in retail and hobby, or just hobby? The MJ being 1 in 288 packs and it being a 12-player insert set means the MJ was 1 in 3,456 packs. So much more rare than the prior insert from Skybox Z-Force that we looked at, the Quick Strike. This Rave review is a pretty tough pack pull. But let's take a look. I always let you guys know I'm dumpster diving here. I own the 8.5. I don't own a gem copy of this card. I need to. I want to. We'll talk about that more later. This is the copy of the card that I own. Let's talk about what the card looks like, and let's read the back. This is just an 8.5 here. Again, good looking picture, good looking card there. Really checks a lot of boxes. Aesthetically beautiful. Jordan's wearing his true high top Concords right here in the picture. On the back in this Beckett slab, it says, say what you like about the MVP type numbers Mike puts up every year, but it's his unparalleled ability to consistently make the plays and game-winning shots that solidifies him as the greatest player in NBA history. His airness doesn't know the meaning of the word pressure. Earning 5 NBA Finals MVP awards and 5 appearances in the NBA Finals should say it all, but even that would be a gross understatement in describing the greatness that is Michael Jordan. In its simplest and purest form, Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever step on a basketball court. Nuff said. Very 80s ending there. Card number 6 out of 12. When I see this card, take a quick pick here. Look at this. I want you to look closely at the card, but now I want you to focus on the background. You see how it's almost like a bunch of tilted cubes stacked on each other in the background? When I see this card, I can't not see this. And I'm about to date myself. I'm 48 years old, so I'm about to date myself. That's what I see. This was a very, very popular game in the early 80s called Cubert. And this little creature here in the middle was called Cubert. And you had to jump from square to square and change the colors in order to clear the board. And these balls were flying all over the place. And these, ooh, that sounded bad. That's what she said. And this little curly snake would try to attack you and kill you. And so that is a highly acclaimed video game from the 80s that would often cause me to go into a rage as a young, maybe 10, 12, 13-year-old kid. But when I see this Rave review card, you see that background, I see the Cubert game board. There's no way to unsee it once you've seen it. So let me know if I'm crazy. Let's give the people what they want, right? So we're going to pull up the pops and prices, and I've flowered it up a little bit. I've got the Luca Nation Network logo in the top left. I got the Cajun Cardboard logo in the top right. This joint video, just bringing you the best in the biz. I've got the table pulled up. I've kind of changed the background of the color so it's not so sterile and monotonous. It's a little bit of a color fade. So hopefully you guys appreciate this incredible Cajun ingenuity to flower up the graphics for the Cajun Cardboard channel. The first thing that jumps out to me, guys, on this is the left column, right? If we're looking at the PSA 10 and the BGS 9.5, those are the two gem mint options here for this card for PSA and BGS. 26 combined. That's not a lot. So that jumps out at me. There's only 26 gem copies of this card in the entire world, which sort of explains why I have an 8.5 sitting in my vault and not a 9.5 or a 10. It's just hard to find, and they're expensive as hell. What's even more impressive is that more have been graded by BGS. About 30% more have been graded by BGS, and there's about half as many gems. So this is one of those rare situations where BGS, for whatever reason, has put the clamps on gem mint slabs. 6% gem rate for BGS, 15% for PSA 10. The next thing that jumps out to me is if you keep scrolling over here, we'll look at the sold price. I mean, the last PSA 10 sold for $21,600, the highest it ever sold for. It almost pushed 30 grand during the bubble. The BGS 9.5, the last sold price is about half, a little bit more than half, $11,160, and that is the highest price that this card's ever sold for. But the column that I want you guys to check out is look how many have sold in the last 6 months, even in PSA and BGS 9. 4 cards in any grade, mint or better, have sold in the last 6 months on a public platform. That is extremely scarce, right? That means it's really tough to find. And then if we scroll over here, another thing that stands out is look at the pop report increase. 0 for 10s in the last 18 months. 0 for 9.5s in the last 18 months. There's been 2 9s and 2 BGS 9s. And so 4 swings have been taken and 4 misses. And again, that doesn't include PSA 8s, BGS 8.5s, BGS 7.5s, PSA 7s, SGCs. So no Gem Mint 10s or 9.5s have been added to the population in the last 18 months in either one of these company slabs. There are no BGS 10s. There are no BGS black labels, although you got to admit a black label on that card would look absolutely just insanely filthy. 26 combined gem copies between the 2 grades, and combined PSA and BGS Gem Mint copies, 2 in the last 6 months. So you're looking at 1 every 3 months. If you are looking hard at this card, it's going to be a feeding frenzy. And I think that's why this card's kind of maintained a pretty high percentage of the highest sale ever for each of these grades. I mean, a lot of cards have come back 100% or 50% down from their highest sale price. Not this card. It's still a pretty high percent of the highest sale ever achieved, which is usually, in this highest sale column, usually that's from early 2021. Mid 2021. So this card's kind of done well, despite the fact that we're dwelling in a down market. What's on eBay? Let's check it out. If we search 1997 Rave Reviews Michael Jordan, it says you get 6 results, but it's actually the same results over and over a couple times here. So stay with me. The first one's an SGC 5. I'd need to take a much closer look at that to figure out why SGC crushed it. Maybe there's some kind of pinhole or a crease or something, but that got murdered. Then there's a KG, which has nothing to do with Jordan. Then there's a pack, which has nothing to do with what I searched. There is a raw one in excellent condition for $3,700. Again, what does excellent condition mean? I have no idea. You guys would have to take a look if you're the gambling type and you wanted to buy raw and submit for grading. Or maybe you're a raw collector and you just want to throw it in your collection. Although, if I were you, I would buy the SGC 5 for $8.99, crack it, and just put that raw one in my collection. That's what I would do if I was a raw collector. I'm not. Then you've got your first legit PSA 8 graded Rave Review for $42.99. If we go back to our chart, remember PSA 9s are selling for $6,300. So this may not be crazy off. That might not be crazy off, and it is best offer. Then we've got an 8.5, looks just like the one that I have in my PWCC vault, and that one's listed by the great Eric from Buy Nice Cards, one of the best dealers in the country. Super pleasant, super easy to deal with. I got a great chance to talk and meet and chat numerous times with Eric up in Atlantic City at the National, which was my first card show. Here's that SGC 5 again, and then here's Eric's 8.5 again. So that's it. You're looking at 3 cards, guys. 1 raw, 1 PSA 8, an 8.5, and SGC 5. 4 total available to check out on eBay. What if you're the gambling type? Again, early in the video, I mentioned I don't know if you can pull Rave Reviews from retail packs or if it's hobby only. I don't know the answer to that. So do your research before you go busting boxes, hoping to open 3,456 packs and hit one of these Jordans. Again, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an economist. But I did sleep at a Holiday Inn last night in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm just kidding. Don't go ripping boxes hoping to pull this Rave Reviews. Just go buy the card. I think you're going to be sorely disappointed busting boxes from 1997 Skybox Z-Force 25 years ago, hoping to hit this Rave Reviews Jordan. If you do, please put it on a video and let me know, and I would congratulate you and slap you on the back. But lots of box options, right? Again, not Series 2. You're not going to pull this card from Series 2, so ignore the Series 2. You're looking for Series 1 only, and not as many boxes as you think. And almost all of these, in fact, all of them for Series 1 look like retail to me. So this is just going to be a hard card to get your hands on, especially if you're a grade snob like me and you're looking to get your hands on a Gem Mint copy. What do I own? I own the 8.5. We looked at it. I've got it pulled up here in my vault. That's what I own. I would gladly sell this back and put this back into the wild and put it back into commerce and list it if I could get my hands on a 9.5 or a PSA 10. So I'm a buy on the BGS 9.5 or the PSA 10. You guys know me for my high-end Jordan collection. I am looking to put 9.5s and BGS slabs and PSA 10s into my collection, and then I'm good, right? I need one copy, one unique copy in the highest grade that I can get, and I'm okay with either one of those grades. This was just a gap filler, a placeholder, and so I'll probably look to sell this card, put some money together. I'm in the process right now. I just moved about 160 cards from my PWCC vault. Oh, actually it was Yeah, about 160 cards from my PWCC vault into the upcoming PWCC weekly auctions. So I'm trying to build up that war chest of funds again. I'm going to Dallas this week. So actually, when you guys watch this video, I will be at the Dallas Card Show, literally at exactly the time you're watching this video. And then that night, I'm going to see the Mavs and the Raptors. And so I'm excited about going to Dallas this week. I'm actually going to hook up with the great Andrew Goldberg, my boss, my CEO, the CFO, the CVO, the everything for the Luca Nation Network. He and I will be chilling and hanging out in Dallas together on Saturday. But Friday, when you watch this video, I'll be at the Dallas Card Show, and I will be looking for a Rave Reviews BGS 9.5 and a 10. So I'm going to try to build up some money to make another hard push and pick up some more high-end Jordan cards that I'll obviously share with you guys on my Cajun Cardboard channel in my mail days, which I get way too many of those because I have a buying habit, as you know. But is this card a grail, a high, a mid, or a low? And just to recap, the way that I categorize Michael Jordan cards for me is if the card's over $20,000, I consider it a grail card. Again, I think the term grail is probably overused, but we got to call it something. So you can call it super high end or you can call it grail. I'm just going to call it grail for ease of use. So grails are cards over $20,000. The PSA 10 is a grail card because if we go back to our chart here, you can see the last one sold for $21,600. It sold for almost $30,000. My guess is the next PSA 10 is probably going to sell for over $20,000. In fact, I would push it over 20 because I need the card and I want the card and I'd love to grab a Pop 17 PSA 10. The BGS 9.5 is squarely over 10 now, but under 20. So that's what I consider a high-end card. The PSA 9 is between 5 and 10,000, which is what I call that mid-grade, a mid-level, for the Jordan insert world. And then the BGS 9 is a low end because it's below $5,000 in value. The last one sold for $33.79. My guess is the next one would also sell for less than $5,000. So grail, mid, high, low. So each card in each grade, starting top to bottom in descending order, is grail, high, mid, low. What cards are comparable to the card that we're talking about today? What cards are comparable to this Rave Reviews where the PSA 10 sold for right at $21,000, $22,000? That's kind of what you're looking at for this card, just depending on where the market's gone since that last sale. That's my guess, 20 to 22 range. I've got three options if you're having to choose how to spend your $21,000. Wouldn't that be a nice dilemma to have, right? To be able to say, hey, I got 21 grand to spend on a monster Jordan card, grail level card. So in addition to your Rave Reviews, you're looking at the hot shots that you see on your screen. A beautiful die cut card from 1996 Flair Showcase, only a Pop 20 in PSA 10 condition. The last one sold in 2019. The Card Ladder estimates the value is about $21,000. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. It's tough for Card Ladder to get accurate on these estimates when a card hasn't sold for damn near 39 months ago. So that's just tough to figure out. The next card that's of similar value, and this one sold very recently. In fact, it sold, 11 days ago, probably 15 days ago by the time you watch this video, is the 1993 Finest Refractor. It's a little bit higher pop. It's a Pop 41, but this is Jordan's first ever refractor card right there. I always thought he looked like Pippen in this card, to be honest with you. I don't know why, but I see Pippen when I see that card. It is Jordan's first ever refractor card, and in PSA 10 condition, that card last sold for $21,600, which is exactly what the Rave Reviews last sold for, $21,600. And then the third card that we're choosing from is this 1998 Skybox Premium Intimidation Nation. I really like this set. It's got the biggest and the baddest dudes out there, but it also has Antoine Walker and Keith Van Horn in this set. But the Intimidation Nation set's just a big close-up of scary players. KG's in there, Jordan's in there, Shaq's in there. I'm lucky enough to own the PSA 10 in Shaq as well. This is only a Pop 11 card, and this one last sold for $22,140 in 2021. So those are your three comp cards, right? We call them comp cards because they're worth about the same in PSA 10 condition, or at least we think they are. If you ask me what order I'm choosing amongst those four cards, I'm going right here with Intimidation Nation as my number one card. That would be my number one. It is only a Pop 11, and I just like this card the most out of these four cards that we're looking at. The second card will be the Refractor. I think the fact that it's Jordan's first Refractor gives it extra meaning. This is one of those very, very rare situations situations, along with the PMGs, where I would choose a parallel card over an insert card. Normally, I'm an inserts over parallel guy, almost always. But this is a rare situation where I would choose this finest card over the Hot Shots, which would be my third choice because it's just intricately die cut. It checks a million boxes. It's super recognizable. It's super important for Jordan collectors. And it's also a super low pop of only 20. And then lastly, I would choose the card we're looking at today, which is our Rave Reviews right here. And so that's my order: Intimidation Nation, Finest Refractor, Hot Shots, and then Rave Reviews. On the on the Cajun Cardboard scale of Jordan card relevance, I give this card an 8 out of 10, fellas. That's just where I put this card. I think it is an important card. I think it is a card that if you're a high-end Jordan collector, you probably have to consider putting this in your collection in some grade or another. The pack odds are really, really tough. It comes from a really good product. It looks like the Kubert video game, arcade game from the 80s, which we've looked at. And so you guys know, if I said 90s on Kubert, I meant 80s. I might have said 90s, but Kubert was definitely from the early 80s. I remember playing it at the local pizza buffet on Tuesday nights, where a couple of families, another family with other kids around my age, we would go eat pizza buffet. We would play Kubert, and we would watch like Family Ties and Who's the Boss. That's how freaking old I am. 90% of my viewers have no idea what the hell I'm even talking about. It's almost like a different language. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. This was Explore the Card, episode number 47. As always, I appreciate you guys watching these videos. Comment below and let me know what you think about this card and the comp cards that we compared it to. Let me know if I missed anything. Again, comment if you know if this card can be pulled from retail packs as well as hobby packs, or if it's just hobby only. I couldn't find that answer. I probably could have looked a little bit harder and asked some of the goats this question. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, stay tuned to the Luca Nation Network. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. And do me a further favor. I'm asking you, pass me along, pass the Luca Nation Network along, pass these Cajun Cardboard videos along, just with a simple share the link from YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube and you like these videos, send this along to other people in the hobby who you think might be interested in collecting Jordan cards or might be interested in basketball card collecting in generally, and just say, hey man, I listen to this guy from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, scream at the screen at least 3 or 4 times a week on the Luca Nation Network, YouTube, and podcast. And I think you might enjoy listening to them as well. Again, I don't ever profess to know everything. I do these videos because it's an education for me, and then I pass that education along to you guys. A lot of these cards I know very little about until I start doing the research for these videos. But the purpose of these is to be educational and entertaining, and hopefully you guys got a little bit of both. I am getting a little bit more efficient at these. I'm at 22 minutes, and that's really impressive for me, and that's really good because you guys know I like to talk and I like to ramble, and I'm doing it right now. Thank you for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. If you see me in Dallas, stop me and shake my hand and introduce yourself. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby, and peace.